Hello, nerds. We're doing some more reaction videos. This one is Weezer. I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's fun that we're doing a new Weezer track because it's been a little while since we've got new Weezer music. So that being said, I think we've got a thing to do first. Okay, Weezer. I feel like this is a band that definitely most people know at this point. They're at a point in their fame that you probably have listened to a few of their songs before. So I don't necessarily think I need to give much history about the band necessarily. Maybe some history myself with the band and how much I listen to them and how much I appreciate them. So I found Weezer, like a lot of people in my age range, with the Buddy Holly song. I'm not 100% certain that's the proper name of the song, actually. Uh, uh, yeah, I think it might be. Ooh, ooh, I look just like Buddy Holly. Yeah, that one. So that was. I'm trying to pull up their discography here because I don't remember what record that was. I think that was the Blue album, but it could have been Pinkerton. Yeah, no, it was the Blue album. Okay, so it was their first album, first big album. Discography will be easier to tell. There we go. Yeah, first album. So, Rivers Cuomo, I did not realize at the time was such an arrogant jerk. I have since come to that realization. I like Weezer. I'm gonna stop burying the lead and just come straight out with it. I like Weezer. I listen to them a fair amount when I'm not listening to like darker things. But I don't. I've never bought a Weezer record, and I've never seen them live. So that kind of gives you a fair estimate. Like I appreciate what they do, and I really do think Rivers Cuomo, strangely enough, can write a hit song in his sleep. Very few songwriters can do that. He is one of them. I don't know if this is going to be one of those cases, though, because I feel like the stuff that they've done recently has been a little less towards that end. Though I have heard that this newer record, or the last record, because this record I don't believe is out yet, but the last record was a little was kind of going back to where Weezer was with the first few records, so Blue and Pinkerton and Green and so on and so forth. So Okay Human is the name of it, or is it Van Weezer? Whatever. Both of those are. I think it's Okay Human is what this one comes off of. So that being said, let's do the disclaimer real quick. This is a reaction and analysis video. This is not a let's watch video. We're not just going to sit back and watch. I'm going to stop the song. I'm going to talk about the things that I feel like work and the things that I feel like don't work as far as the performance of the song, as far as the production of the song, and as far as the production of the video, because I do those three things professionally and have done at least one of those three things for a very long time. I've been part of music since I was a very small child. I have been doing music professionally since I was a older teenager. I am not a teenager anymore, so I've been doing this for a little while. That being said, if you want to listen to the original song, if you want to watch the video without my voice, then go somewhere else, because that's not what we do here. I am so tired of the comments. God, I wish you would just shut up. I'm not going to shut up. We're here to talk about this song. We're here to analyze what's going on, and it is from my perspective, because again, I've been doing this for a while, so I have an angle on how I feel like things sound the best, because I've done things for other people to make them sound the best. Okay. That being said, let's get into expectations. I'm still working on the structure of these things, guys. So, expectations for this song. I expect this to be a fantastically written pop song because that is what Rivers Cuomo does. Um, I honestly think that he's tired of being slightly obscure. Not that Weezer's ever been super slightly obscure, but as obscure as they are now because they're not part of the main conversation when it comes to pop music, I think Rivers, being the egocentric person that he is, wants to be a part of the conversation again. So I would imagine he's trying to write more super catchy pop tunes and be a little less on the indie, even though indie's kind of trending right now, whatever. So I expect this to be a very well-written pop song. I expect there to be some really solid theory in here that we are going to try and get into. Again, my ear is not as tight as it should be, so if we can get into the theory because it is simpler than like a metal song, then we definitely will. I mean, I'm going to touch on that a bit, but I expect him to have a little bit of fun with the theoretical side of this tune. I think that's all I really expect out of a Weezer song. I expect there to be really solid vocals. His vocals have always been really good. And yeah, there we go. I think that's what we've got. So let's look at the other screen and then do this thing. Huh. Oh, this looks really interesting just based off of the thumbnail alone. So here's the thing that kind of helps when you're listening to Weezer to keep this in mind. Rivers and at least one of the other guys. Oh, what is YouTube telling me now? Record now, watch later, go away. So Rivers and I honestly can't remember. Let's pull up the wiki again because I feel like it was at least one of the other guys that's in the band now. With his high school metal band Avant Garde, later renamed Zoomed. Yeah, so Rivers was in a metal band before he started Weezer's. Patrick Wilson and Matt Sharp. Are they currently in the band? Oh, they currently are. Patrick is anyway. Matt Sharp is no longer in the band. And so, like I said, it was one of the other dudes. I don't remember which one Patrick is. I think he's the other guitar player, but I very well could be wrong. So when you listen to his guitar tone, man, he has this epic, like, almost metal tone. I mean, he's toned it down for Weezer, but he started in a metal band, so he has some really great tone knowledge. He actually went to school for music as well, so that also helps with his production. But still, I feel like because he's writing pop songs from a metal mindset, that is why they're so unique. But let's keep going, shall we? Oh, I'm in the wrong window. Running, chasing all the criminals, swinging on a web, flying in the sky, shooting lasers from my eyes. But now I know it never was my destiny. It's not my place. I really like this video. This is really cool. So this is technically very difficult to do because so all of this stuff that's scrolling across it's taking up memories. It's technically difficult because of the computer processing power that's going to take to make a million different videos scroll past the screen. So that's interesting. I really think it's effective. It's a good way to do a video with your fans. It's also a good way to do a video during quarantine. And I don't need the glory, I don't need the fame, and I don't wanna wear this cape. So we're in B. 'Cause on the inside, I know it won't last. On the inside, I'm an outcast. Well, everybody needs a hero, but I'm not everybody else. I walk alone. Yeah, I walk alone. Yeah, I walk alone. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Okay. You know I try to be your hero. So we talk a lot about drums. We talk a lot about bass. This is a great example of a good pop rock song doing very well with both of those things. We have a good, solid kick drum that is driving this song. To match, we have a steady, driving bass tone too. That is doing wonders for it as well. And the bass is not just playing second fiddle to the guitar. The bass is doing what the bass does, and it's holding down the rhythm, where the guitar can then work around the bass and do much more interesting things. Interesting that that there hasn't been much delineation between the two guitars yet. But again, pop song, I don't expect it to get super, like, we're not going to get one crazy rhythm guitar and then a wicked lead, though we are going to get a wicked solo, I would imagine. All right, so here we go. We're going to go, hold up. Listen to this. The staccato guitar. Lead guitar sounding like a keyboard, so we've got some crazy effects going. But this is when you've established, this is the thing that we learned when we listened to that Mushroom Head song, right? You establish a sound for the song. And then as the song progresses, that sound has to expand, has to grow into something in order to maintain, in order to be interesting the whole time. So what we've done is from the first verse, we have that whatever note chords they're playing on the guitar. Now we have the lead guitar getting a little bit of a noodle going on, which is expanding it. We also have a little bit more drum happening, so the mix is continually getting more interesting, even though we still have that heart of this song, which is that staccato. Sorry. There we go. So Rivers writing a very well-crafted pop song, just like we expected.
Like I don't exist. And on the inside, I know it won't last. On the inside.
Listen to that guitar build. Last time we didn't get that. Ooh, nice drum fill. Let's go back to that. That was a lot of fun. Hold up. One more. Listen to the guitar getting all noodly in the back, the lead guitar. Oh, pretty. Oh, that's good stuff. So this is something else to note here is the understatement of that guitar, or of the drum tone rather, is effective because it makes you want to listen to it more. So like in and this is something I might not have done, but I feel like is super effective, probably more effective than what I would have done, because what I would have done was kind of give that little drum moment a little bit of a different mix. I probably would have brought the highs up just for that little section, so that you get a little more character out of the drums. But doing it as understated as they just did makes you listen a little harder, which for this song, for this style even, probably is the better way to go versus, again, what I would have done, which would have been a little more obnoxious, I feel like. But I'm kind of obnoxious in my mixes. That's why I mix metal bands. Yeah. C, D, yeah. Oh, listen to that. So, we're going to listen to the whole section and we'll go back over it. All right, so what just happened there was also brilliant mixing. Let's go back a few seconds because it's gonna, it might be a little bit more than that. All right, so what we're hearing here is this other bridge section. This is a secondary bridge. This is actually the bridge that we were building to. This is almost the climax, I would say, judging on the length of song we've gotten to into this point. So if you listen, we have the main riff going on the rhythm guitar. So Rivers is playing the main riff, and then we have the bass doing the driving thing, but it's also moving a little bit more. We have a little bit more of a walk coming out of that bass as we're going from the G to the B to the C to the D. So that is keeping our interest there as well, but we also have the lead guitar doing that noodle, but the mix is doing this thing where the lead guitar comes in super soft and then they're bringing the gain up on that lead guitar so that once we hit that crescendo and then it drops out, it's so much more effective. So let's go again. There's that lead, so you don't have to listen to the volume. Ever so subtle, but it's going up. Isn't that so good? And now we've got some distortion on the bass. So again, the sound of the song just continues to grow. Even though this is a super sparse section, the sound is expanding still. Oh, it's so masterfully done. So this is, oh man, I would not be surprised if we started hearing this a lot on the radio. This is so good. And then there's a letter that says, whenever you run emergency supplies on electric golf carts or translate English for someone who doesn't speak it, we thank you. Whether you man computers or pick up phones, answer questions and concerns, or route people here and there, we thank you. Whether you donate pillows and blankets or give money, we thank you. To those lacking proper face masks, risking their health for the greater good, we thank you. While the rest of us retreated to our homes, you ran towards the threat in a battle you didn't know you even signed up for. Your bravery and selflessness are awe-inspiring. You are the reason we shall rock another day. Life is good. And for all of this, we thank you. Rivers Cuomo. That's pretty cool. Is there more song? I don't believe so. He's probably just got it paused up here so you can read it. Yeah, all right. So, a little bit of that right there going on. All right. This is this is Rivers changing his strategy, I think. I can't say 100% that I live inside Rivers Cuomo's head because I don't. But it seemed like for a while, and actually when they first started, it was even less so for this, but it seemed like for a while that Rivers was kind of writing songs that were geared towards teenagers, even though he wasn't one. But that's kind of most pop music, right? That's your bread and butter is the teenage crowd. So that's who's buying your tunes. That's who's going to see you in concert. So that's who, if you want to be gigantic, that's probably, I mean, most music is kind of for kids because, again, they're the ones with the most expendable income, so that's kind of, you could make the argument that most music is written for kids who have the time to listen to it and in some cases study it. there's obviously other genres that specifically are geared towards adults, like adult contemporary. So I feel like this is a little less specifically geared towards that subsect of his audience, and is more broad, and is probably going to make it more effective. Like the Buddy Holly tune specifically, like I was talking about at the beginning of the video. That Buddy Holly tune was, I mean, the first line of the freaking song is, "What's with these homies dissing my girl? Why do they got a front?" Which is goofy and ironic to a point, which is kind of geared again towards that teenage audience. It was like, oh, listen to him using this slang in an ironic way. So it was, like I said, in order to understand the irony, you probably had to be a little bit older, but those words specifically were geared towards, again, a teenage audience. These words here are a little more not teenage. It seemed like, and this is again just my perception, it seemed like he really ramped that up for a little while, and Weezer was just writing tunes for teenage dudes and potentially teenage girls with heartbreak and maybe drug habit, as evidenced by hash pipe and such. So, yeah, this broader, more adult Rivers Cuomo is much more effective. I feel like this is one of the best Weezer tunes I've heard in a long time. I mean, I know hash pipe is super effective because of the simplicity of that stinking riff that gets stuck in your head all the time. As soon as you hear those first three notes, you already know what the song it is, and you already have it stuck in your head, and you're already pissed off. So, like, yeah, that's super effective. This, though, I feel like is more, is more effective. This is more well-written, well-crafted tune. Yeah, I'm a fan of it. I think I'm going to have to end the video before I start rambling even more. Where's my mouse? There we go. So yeah, that is apparently where we're going to be ending this dang video. What did you guys think about the song? I dug it. I think Rivers is brilliant, even though he's an arrogant jerk. I think this is kind of the reason why he's an arrogant jerk, because he knows he can do this. Why he didn't do this to this level for a little while is beyond me, but man, it was great. So yeah, what did you guys think? There wasn't a whole lot to talk about video-wise. We did get into a little bit of the music. We didn't talk about the theory of why he's going from G to B to B to C to D, because there is progression there that we probably could have gotten into a little bit, but that again, I'm not 100% certain that that's where everything lived. I know that the G was there, and I know that the D was there, and I know that there was a B in there somewhere as well. So everything else was kind of, I'm working on my ears, guys. I don't know what to tell you. That's where we're sitting. So what did you think? Check out the stuff that's playing right here. You can click one of these two boxes. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because we do this frequently. I also do a news show twice a week, so you can check out the Week in Nerddom. Keep up on your nerd news headlines. That is it for me today, though, nerds. Next video, and now we're going to be beyond the end card, so you're just looking at blank boxes. But the next video is going to be Benjamin Todd track. So if you are into this new wave of Americana / country, then that is the next video you will be watching. Thank you, nerds, one more time before we head up. Always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.